This is A Kettle of Fish. Be sure to subscribe and listen to each episode at akettleoffishpodcast.com or your favorite podcast app. Here are your hosts, Robert and Paul.
Dude, the day we get Joe Rogan on, that's how you know we made it.
The day we get Joe Rogan on, I will quit my day job and move on.
If anything, we'll be on his show before he'll be on our show. Come on.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's very accurate.
I'm waiting for it.
But today, for everyone's listening pleasures, we have an old friend of the show, Marcus Lamb.
From a year ago.
Yeah, it was I think maybe a little over a year ago. We had him on because we were talking about his movie that we do sell at shop.akettleoffishpodcast.com. You should go there.
Just
check
no
it out.
Shame.
The Township. You can download a digital copy right there from the website. It's $10. Goes right to Marcus. Yeah, helps support
to help
him
produce more movies.
to help produce more movies. So Marcus, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm good. Just working on the new movie that's going to be coming out hopefully next year or towards the end of this year, depending on how shooting goes.
Right. Well, go ahead and tell us what's the title of the movie, what's it about, how does it play in with the
Spoiler-free.
Township?
Well, it's the title of the movie is called A Witch and a King, and it's gonna be the second part of the now cult trilogy. Instead of the trilogy revolving around the character of Olivia, we are doing we're doing it about the cult, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully everybody will like it and enjoy it. It's got some more action in it. It's gonna be super scary, and it's gonna be in better production.
I'm gonna hold you to that. Super scary. Did you get Bruce Campbell this time? I'm hoping so.
I wish I got Bruce Campbell in it this time.
That would be pretty fantastic.
That would be great.
He was in a B movie that I just watched recently, Black Friday.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. He actually produced that movie.
Yeah, it was. I love that movie. It makes no sense, and it was shot on a budget, and they couldn't do anything because of COVID, so they only had like 5 people on screen at a time. But I love that movie.
It is so great. That was a really good one.
Oh, it was funny.
Well, Marcus, can you go into little details of the movie, like what, or can you go into like what you might have learned, what you're doing differently? Can people still get in on the movie? Because I know you had like open auditions.
Absolutely. We can get. We're still looking for people for background extras, and if you want to join up, you can join up with us. Filming begins January the 13th, which is a Friday, which is hilarious.
Friday the 13th. That seems appropriate.
Yeah. But we are actually going to be going a lot more serious with this one. We have actors that are ready to be molded and are more ready to listen. We have some returning actors who are ready to jump on the gun with this and ready to go full force on it.
Okay. Are you more excited about this one than you were Township?
Yeah. I consider this one to be my Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Which I know it's hard to live up to that one, but
so that means your Return of the Jedi is just gonna suck then.
I mean,
like you're already setting yourself up for failure. It's terrible.
I mean, it could be worse. I could say this is gonna be my Terminator 2, and then the rest of them are just gonna suck.
I like Terminator 2.
But I'm sure you'd be all right if this spins off and allows you to put out 9 other movies.
Yeah. 3 prequels and then 3 sequels and then a bunch of TV shows on Disney Plus. You got it.
Oh
Just
yeah,
build some
because
lore behind it.
we'll get this trilogy going, and we'll have we'll make it right in the middle of the story. Then we'll go back to the beginning of the story, and then we'll go 15 years into the future. We'll have
Yeah.
Now, careful. I'm pretty sure that's what Paranormal Activity did. And I don't think they're around anymore.
No, they
Nice.
did. They got that new one. That came out 2 years ago, something.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention.
It has nothing to do with the other movies.
A new
That doesn't make any
Paranormal
sense.
Activity.
It's
Hmm.
Paranormal
Yeah,
Activity.
Paranormal Activity was trying to build this huge fucking like story, but then they did the first one, then they did a prequel, and then they did like a pre-sequel and a prequel to that sequel. It was like all over the fucking place. It was hard to keep track of.
Yeah. So like with A Witch and the King, which was written by me and re-edited and rewritten and reworked by Kelsey Harold, and she's once again on board as my assistant director with this, and we feel that this is going to be a much stronger story.
Okay.
We are diverging away from the Olivia character, because this 3-part was supposed to be her story, going
Right.
from the first one, the Township, to this one, to eventually the third one, and her character arc would have been completed in the third one. But unfortunately, the actress decided to step away from the role of the character, and she wanted to pursue something else. So, unfortunately, that put us in a bit of a pickle, and we
Yeah.
had to rewrite, and redo the entire script and get it back on track. And now we have a good cast. We got an excellent crew. We have a bigger crew than we did for the first one, so we're gonna actually have more people on board and be able to do stuff with us.
I see.
Neat.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to review it. Have you back on and talk about the how things are going and.
Oh, is that what are we gonna do a podcast where we review the movie?
Why not?
Awesome.
I mean, we kind of did with Township with him the first time around.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it's been almost 60 episodes, and if you
It's
count
been a while.
since I could hold my head up high. Anyways, if you count like
I'm
our
just
specials,
right
like a
here
spoiler
waiting
cast
for
and
you.
stuff. If you count like spoiler casts and whatever that we do, it has been more than 60 episodes.
Holy shit, Robert. We haven't done a spoiler cast in a hot minute.
That's true. I think the last one we did
Holy-
was Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I don't think any movies worth a fuck have come out.
That's true. So some people could argue Black Panther, but it's just nothing's really
think
caught
that-
my attention.
There's
like that.
Halloween Ends that came out. It was decent. It
We're
wasn't
talking about
like,
good movies.
Oh. Oh.
Damn.
What, you didn't like that Michael
Damn, I'm
Myers wasn't in it?
There was no fucking reason to do Halloween Ends. It ended in the oh my god. It just I don't like that they just keep doing this thing where they revisit old series and try to revive them for no reason whatsoever.
It's true.
I got you.
very
I'll
good.
do that in like 10 more years.
Yeah,
I'll go-
I know
I'll
you
go-
will, and then
I'll go
be
back to the
boycotting
Township.
you. Yeah. Well, the
This
original was better.
with a witch
There
and a
was
king.
no blood in it. It was so much better.
It'd be like
Back in the day.
the fights we used to have with our friends. If you were NES or Sega,
Fuck
it's like,
Sega.
oh, do you get blood in your Mortal Kombat, or is it just green ooze or blue ooze?
It's green.
or whatever.
Is it
Yeah.
green?
Yeah, I'm gonna have the
It's
audience
supposed to be
be
sweat.
interactive with it when I remake the Township. They'll have to be like, they'll have to stand up, sit down, turn to the left, turn to the right, and tap each other
It'll
on
be
the
virtual
shoulder.
reality by the time you get to that point.
I mean, you
Part
could
of
do
the
VR
movie.
now if you wanted to, I guess.
I'm waiting on that
with-
movie, like an actual VR movie.
With Witch and a King, is it going to be about the same length as Township? Is it longer? What you
We're
looking at?
looking at hour and 30 minutes.
Okay,
It's going to be
so
a
twice as
5-hour
long.
epic that's split into 5 parts.
And Peter Jackson is directing it.
Nice, very nice. Well, of course, you
Fucking some
know, if
Peter
you
Jackson stuff.
if you need anything that you think we can help you with, by all means, we're here available and more than willing to do
I mean,
that.
I'm in another state, but I can vocalize for you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you need some art. Like, Paul's got you covered like that. You
Oh,
need
yeah.
some, like, you know, fake radio stuff. We could do that, you know.
Awesome. You know, that actually that could come in handy. We do have
In a world.
we do have a part in there where the main character is listening to a podcast about they were talking about a serial killer. No, they were talking about the cult. Sorry. They were talking about the cult on the podcast.
Oh man, can we get guest starring roles as the podcast guys talking about? That'd be awesome.
Dude.
That would
I
be- that would
seriously
be.
legit love true crime stuff, so that would be pretty awesome. A cult.
And like Robert would be trying to be all serious, and I'd make a fucking crack about it and eat a donut or something. It'd be great.
Marcus, you
Yeah.
could absolutely write the parts if you wanted to keep it on theme, you know.
Well, I mean, not to go into too much detail. It's pretty much we're gonna be doing like somewhat of a montage scene of our main character doing his evening run, and he's got the podcast. Well, not podcast. He's got the podcast playing on his phone. He's got the where is it? The AirPods that these kids
Yeah.
are listening to nowadays.
Not me. I wear Raycon earbuds.
Oh my
Just like
god.
a sponsorship.
I wear Beats, but that's okay.
Actually, I lost my Raycons.
No, you just bought them.
I fucking know.
Oh, come on.
And
You
I
lost the
lost 'em.
Raycons?
And they don't have a tracker in them like AirPods.
No, they don't.
Dead meat sponsors Raycons, okay? Come on. They're the most comfortable earbuds in the world.
They are comfortable, but they're very easy to lose and impossible to find.
Nice. Very nice.
Just remember, it's
And
at
everyone's like, you should put it back in the
raycon.com/kettle of fish.
yeah.
Get that 25% discount.
So,
God, I
somebody
wish.
knows. Somebody's
Dude,
been
if we got
listening.
sponsored by Raycon, we know we've made it as content creators. Like
If-
that's the
let's-
pinnacle.
if-
It's like
if
it goes
we-
Raid Shadow Legend, Raycon earbuds. Like
Casper
Oh, yeah.
mattresses,
And then,
oh yeah,
Blue Chew, erection dysfunction, or
dude,
yeah,
that's the
pill.
lower middle temple area there.
Listen, honestly, I'll take anything. Anybody listening to this, if you have a
Burger
company that
King.
needs
we
promotion,
will sell your terrible food.
oh man, dude, I had Burger King
but
today.
right
Listen,
now, we actually, Kelsey has been doing triple the work for us. She's handling the graphic design of everything. She actually just made us a brand new website. It's magmacleric. I think it's .com. I'll put a link or somewhere on
We can
our,
put it
I
in
don't
the
know my
description.
When I
website.
shared
I
it.
don't know what it is, but
it's magmaclericstudios.com, I think. Let me
Okay.
hold. I think I got this. I think I do. Don't
I did
quote
let
me
that
on this.
domain lapse, so it's completely available.
Let's see. But yeah, no, she's been working overtime. We've got she made us a brand new logo.
Overtime.
It
Okay.
looks fantastic. We're all excited to start
Is it paid
working.
overtime?
Yeah, get paid overtime. I wish.
It's a time and a half.
It's actually magmaclericstudios.myportfolio.com.
Oh wow, Cleric Studios.
Magma Cleric Studios.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, it's Magma Cleric Studios dot my portfolio.com.
Huh.
Robert will put it in a link.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely gonna.
He'll link it to something.
I'll link it.
Magma Cleric Studios dot my portfolio.
.com.
Okay. Oh yeah, we'll put it in there. And you're also taking information, like taking applications or whatever, through your Facebook, or
Yes, we
putting out
are. We are
notifications to
taking applications. We're taking people that want to come to be background extras. They can
Mhm.
email us or they can send us messages on Facebook.com.
Okay.
Or you can come talk. You can call us. We do have a phone number that's we'll send you to either myself, Kelsey, or Danielle,
Okay.
and we can go through that way. But we're also looking for more people. We just hired one more person on our crew. He's going to be our data wrangler manager. He's going to be the one that handles all the the data. When we get done filming a scene, he takes it and goes and puts it on the computer, so we don't have an incident like we did last year where the dog ate my SD card.
Yeah, that way you don't pull a Toy Story 2 again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
we'll
was-
avoid that as much as we can. And you also want to avoid a Paul having
Look,
juice,
man,
a cup full of
I
juice on your
have-
PC.
I have the solid state drive right here in my hand.
Yeah.
Getting the information off of it, a little bit more difficult.
Mhm.
I'm working on it.
Mhm.
Are
Sure.
you working on it?
No, I keep forgetting about it.
See, I knew it sounded a little sus.
Yeah, I keep and my depression from losing all these files has put me behind so drastic. I'm a month behind on everything I was supposed to be working on.
But you're doing so
And-
good.
I know I was doing good. You don't have to remind me because that's part of my depression. I'll kill you.
Oh, God.
Like I am so frustrated, and in order to proceed, I either have to redraw all 30-40 fucking things that I drew
Right.
2 months ago, or I have to find a way to get all my files off of this, and that way I can start working on my shop and everything. But I can't
Right.
do that until I can get the fucking files off of here.
It's true.
So, very angry, very depressed, very upsetting, and it has put me back a lot. To be fair, so has playing Pokemon, because I'm 60-something hours in that, and I've wasted a good week and a half of my life.
I was going to ask, how has that been for you? How's it?
Oh, I love it. Fuck
I saw
everyone
s-
that says something bad about it.
I was going to ask about how it was going. I saw some of your stream from the other day playing it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
it looks a lot like Arceus, just a different times, like different time
It's-
era.
It's a little bit more like thinner lines were definitely used to try and make it a little bit stand out a little bit different.
Right.
And definitely some aspects of the world are more involved, like particle effects and like wind effects, and like I've taken screenshots and stuff where you can kind of see the wind blowing across different parts of the grass and making like it looks sort of different colors the way it blows across.
Right.
And then little blades of grass blowing around in your face, or like the snow and rain and everything, and how your character reacts to those environments, like acting as if he's cold, or holding his arms up to block the rain from getting in his face as you're walking around. Little things like that I just, man, everybody's like, oh, they rushed it out, and I'm like, yeah, they probably did on as far as like quality assurance with like the performance stuff that people are, and that's the only thing people have complained about is performance. And honestly, I haven't had that bad of a time with it. Yeah, there's pop in, but goddamn, I've seen 9 out of 10 games with pop in.
Right.
Like, like it you're talking about some shit that's on the Switch, and they didn't have time to build a dedicated system to make it run properly, like Breath of the Wild or whatever. And I just like what they did manage to do is so breathtaking. Like, honestly, this has probably been the best Pokemon game in years. And people are like starting to slowly go back to Sword and Shield. It's like, oh, I'm playing Sword and Shield, and I'm like, wait a minute, Sword and Shield was hot fucking garbage.
Yeah, that's what I remember people saying.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's still hot garbage. They didn't fix it.
Right.
And like they tried to sell you a season pass like as soon as the game came out. This one hasn't tried to do that. And they've even talked about free, DLC for this game. So I'm like, and they just had an event this past weekend. So they're definitely trying to pay attention to the game. But I was surprised like Nintendo didn't stand by their product because they're issuing refunds.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, that's
very
that doesn't
not
look good
like
for
them.
you guys. Yeah. And I mean, I love, me, I love attention to small details more than fucking anything.
Right.
There's things like Jigglypuff is labeled as the balloon Pokemon in the Pokedex. And I noticed the other night it was storming. Like, it wasn't just casual drizzle rain. It was storming in the game, and the wind was blowing the rain sideways. And I would see these wild Jigglypuff walking around, and they would just get carted off by the wind and float away.
Huh.
And it was just little details like that it makes me really enjoy the game, and it feels very alive. Sure, Pokemon popping in or trees popping in from a distance or whatever, people are just mammy. And I'm like, the game overall is good though. What the fuck are you complaining about? Like,
yeah, I mean,
at least the shadows render properly, unlike some AAA titles that come out that have suddenly gotten revised and got a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Cyberpunk.
The
bullshit ass
yeah.
fucking.
I haven't, and I've looked into it. I've almost bought it, but I haven't quite. I think I'm gonna wait just a little bit.
So here's my thing, right? Like, Cyberpunk had 10 some odd years to work on their game. Roughly, they put it out, right? And it was supposed to be like for the top tier, like you had a good PC, you could run it great, and it still couldn't render shadows properly. Pokemon has had maybe 2-3 years, and their clouds have proper shadow rendering. Their character models have proper shadow rendering. All the fucking Pokemon have proper shadows. There's a day and night cycle that works properly. I haven't fallen through the fucking map once.
How much of this game, though, has assets encoding or whatnot that comes from previous games?
It's hard. I'd have to load up Arceus. As far as like,
because there was
trees.
A lot of it that looked very similar to Arceus.
Yeah, as far as trees go, I don't know if those assets were reused. I know none of the character models were reused from Arceus. They're all new character models. All the Pokemon models are similar, but they have updated animations and textures now. Like they have fur and bark and scales and rock textures. So they have textures on them, which makes them, thank God, not look like they're made of plastic.
Right.
The grass, I think, is not a reused asset because, like I said, it has its own dedicated animation to it to look as if wind is blowing across it.
Or maybe it started off like the asset that was already used, and then they just improved upon it. But
yeah, they could have reused, but didn't like improved.
It's doing well. IGN gave it a 6.
And IGN has even said it's the best, mainline Pokemon game in years. So
that's true. Arceus isn't a mainline.
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
Even the world, like the landscape, like how everything is structured, is so much more interesting to explore than Arceus was. Arceus felt very bland in the exploration sometimes, but but I've not been bored exploring in this game one time. And I'm 68, 69 hours into the game.
Well, that's good.
And I haven't even beaten it. I think I've collected 380 of the 400 Pokemon. I just had beaten the last gym leader of the 8 gym leaders. I beat the 5 Team Star leaders, and I defeated the 5 Titan Pokemon. I captured the 4 Pokemon of Ruin, and I've collected all the Gimme Ghoul coins, and I mean, there's a lot of shit in the game to just do and keep you busy.
You also beat the dick. Ooh.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry.
But the way they limit exploration, but like you have to go defeat the Titan Pokemon to open up new types of exploration. The way they limit you really helps with the whole getting out there and exploring and make it your own adventure. Because like you can't climb walls right away, or you can't fly right away, or you can't, jump super high right away or anything like that. But as you explore and you go on these different adventures and you fight the different Titans, you suddenly new ways of exploring the world come open to you. Now, instead of falling off cliffs to try and get into an area that you needed to get to, you're suddenly just flying or jumping or climbing. You're doing all this other crazy shit. So I really enjoy it.
So Marcus, I hate to bring it up, but I feel like it's very appropriate. Anybody who listened to the episode that you were on, which I think was like episode 4 or something like that.
It was early.
We briefly talked about your love and past podcast revolving around Power Rangers. So now I have to ask.
Oh.
How are you with
JDF?
Yeah, Jason David Frank's passing.
That's right there, especially sitting here following it, finding out more details about how it went down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it hit me hard. That was the hardest one. Robin Williams is like right up there above JDF of how hard a celebrity's death actually impacted me. And oh boy, JDF's was right there. I was devastated. I'm not gonna lie, I was crying like a baby.
I can imagine that. I mean, because that
full
was something
blown tears.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was such such a good person, such a nice person.
Yeah.
Even when COVID hit, he started a fundraiser. He started going around to comic book shops and helping them stay open during this time by making appearances and signing stuff and doing all the proceeds to the store so that the store would stay open.
Yeah.
He's got his Rising Sun Dojo, his karate where he helped younger kids and stuff, find that self-confidence, helped adults find their self-confidence. It's ironic that his last video he posted was him talking about mental health, which is a very serious thing.
Right.
It's ironic that he talked about it and then ended up taking his life. But
and, I mean, in the slowest way he could think of too. I can't imagine how.
What? Apparently
he hung himself in a hotel room, like the hotel bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
That shit's gotta suck to be, hang yourself, man. Like, apparently, like him and his wife were going through a divorce process, and they having spats, and they were both at the same hotel, and
they had to call the police to get them separated and stuff, and calm it down. She apparently, from what I've read, and I'm not trying to bash anything, because if you, I couldn't do it, because it's just too much for me. But they actually had like a visual or whatever on his fan page for on Facebook.com, um, and um, yeah, it's a lot, and apparently his wife out his soon to be ex-wife
Mhm.
outed him.
Well, his widow
Uh
now.
well, yeah, widow, but she pretty much told everybody that in a very public place that he was a cheater and he
Mm.
was this and that and he was unfaithful. Uh but the man was suffering inside, kind of like Robin Williams. He was a happy go lucky guy on the outside, help anybody. He seemed to love life and all that, but
Mhm.
behind the scenes he was struggling with some of his personal demons.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much. Like I said, they're having his visual or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Today it's actually on his fan Facebook page, JDF fan page. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, it's something else.
Yeah,
Y-
it's hard. It's hard to process that shit too, especially going through especially like growing up in the '90s and growing up with him, and he just stayed with Power Rangers for so long, and
Yeah.
even like being like psyched when he came back and everything like that. It was very nice, and getting to meet him at a convention was really cool. But it's just something else when someone you basically idolized does something like that. It throws you off.
Right, and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at his I'm looking at his casket, and it's very nice. They went live on his fan page. They got like his screen used Green Ranger suit up there, along with um his dojo stuff up there, and a bunch of other stuff. And all his uh all his coworkers said something really nice about him. And like Amy Jo Johnson, the original Pink Ranger,
Mhm.
she broke down. She couldn't believe it. Um, Jason, Austin St. John,
Mm. Yeah.
everybody knows that they had a beef with each other. And he said it plain and simple. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said, me and Jason got along, but we wasn't drinking buddies. I wasn't gonna go out of my way to have a beer with him.
Right.
But the fact that he made a post and you could tell that it hurt him, uh, that meant a lot.
Yeah. We we touched on it last week when we were kind of talking about it with Tyler. This is going to be 3 episodes from now. Or from when we post this, it'd be 3 episodes ago. Um, it's kind of, I don't know. It's interesting how so many people that do end up committing suicide are ones that have been very vocal about mental health and their own struggles. And you can't help but wonder, like, man, did they try to reach out to someone and they didn't pick up the phone? Or did they try to text someone and nobody answered? Or it kind of,
Well, like, that's what with Robin Williams. He had like a final phone call with I can't remember who, but that was talked about like you know um sometimes just reaching out isn't enough.
yeah.
You put it away and you put it away and you put it away, and one day it just all catches up to you.
Yeah, it is. It. Ooh, it's a sad thing. And it's sad that it goes so out there that it's swept under the table a lot. Um,
Yeah.
and like depression gets overlooked because everybody thinks it's suicidal awareness and stuff.
Well,
Suicide
like,
has to
surely he
start
can't be that
somewhere.
way. Like Robin Williams, like the greatest comedian actor on the planet at the time. Surely he can't be suffering it
It's
with
it,
depression like the average
it
everyday person. But it's like,
yeah,
no, that's
and
definitely not the
being
case.
outside looking in, like from the other side, like unsuccessful, poor, and it's
Mhm.
like how can you have so much and be successful and be beloved by so many people and still feel so depressed? Like, what is it that's got you to that low point?
Yeah.
And like, I've never been able to understand it. I mean, I've had extremely low points, being just having a terrible fucking life sometimes, but
Yeah.
like I can't process it. But I mean, that's everyone's different. Everyone deals with shit their own way and different ways, and sometimes it's not healthy. And like I said, that shit just builds up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and that's something that is most definitely out there, and it's something that everybody deals with in their own way. Um, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But
I tell
speaking
you
of
what
pot,
helps me,
Speaking of what?
a pot.
no, I was gonna say
There's a
speaking of
pot.
podcast.
Oh,
Actually, thanks to you guys from the last episode because I was listening to the last episode I was on. Because that's the only good episode y'all had left. After that,
damn!
after
60 episodes is just one good one.
just one good
Fuck.
one, and it's got me on it. So
Ah, damn. I guess we need to be doing better.
big Hollywood
Just
star over here.
pack up my microphone and my keyboard and go somewhere else.
I know, it's hard, but somebody's got to tell y'all.
Damn.
But don't worry,
I mean, I kind of figured from the fact that we only had like 3 actual listeners, so.
Yeah, yeah, and I was 2 of them.
Yeah, I know. He was on 2 different accounts. He's like, oh shit, am I logged into my other Google? Fuck.
I'm
That's fine.
actually
I got
looking
like
up
4
because I'm
different
curious
Google
as to how many
fucking
listens
things.
that episode has.
Oh, but yeah, no, because of y'all, I actually went back and found my old podcast, it's More for Time podcast, and I was listening to a couple of episodes and stuff, and I found it funny that I called it years, like 4 years before it got released. That was like, you know what the Power Ranger comic book needs that's from Boom Studios? I said, besides doing a crossover with the Justice League, they need to do a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that
And
was
they
back,
did.
and they did. But I called it back in like 2017.
Well, to be fair to the TMNT, nobody gives a shit about them anymore. So crossovers have been
God.
happening more and more and more and more and more. And also, before the comics did it, there was already a crossover with the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles on TV years ago when they did the TMNT TV show, like the live action one. And then, but yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have also done crossovers with Batman and a bunch of other shit. They've recently had that animated movie where Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill came back for Joker and Batman, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was
pretty good.
it was based on their first comic book run, TMNT
Yeah.
versus Batman, which was fun. And I'm gonna do a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's gonna be the Township versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The Township Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Teenage
outrageous.
Mutant Ninja Township.
It's gonna be released in
I didn't realize that they had a crossover
2030.
with Batman, to be honest.
Oh yeah, dude. It's dope as fuck. Shredder and the who was it? Shredder and Ra's al Ghul teaming up.
I mean,
That would
I'm not
actually-
gonna have Ra's al Ghul.
yeah.
It'll be like Shredder versus the maid or something, you know.
Yeah. The little old maid that dies in the bathroom.
Oh man, I don't have that drawing
zombie
anymore.
maid.
It's gonna be great, and they won't beat any blood, so you know the kids can watch it.
Just ooze
There we go.
and Domino's Pizza.
Just have
Oh,
green,
yeah.
green blood and call, or we can make it blue and call it sweat like they did back in the day too.
Blue and dubba dee dubba duh. Oh man, no, yeah. Well, also the Ninja Turtles were in Injustice 2 as DLC characters, so and Ninja Turtles are
Oh,
all over the
yeah.
fucking place.
That's
Oh
right, I
yeah,
forgot about that.
they're having a resurgence, and they had such a popular comic with the crossover with the Power Rangers hit off so well. They went ahead and made action figures of the turtles as Power Rangers, and then they went ahead and I think next year they're releasing the line of the turtles dressed as the Power Rangers Funko
Nice.
Pops. So
Huh.
if you like Funko, there's that. Also look
I'll
out
tell
for
you-
the Township Funko.
Dude, I would be about it. I would do it. Surely
I'd
there's
get
a
the
way to
maid.
get custom made Funkos.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
for
can
sure.
get custom made ones.
Oh,
I,
the maid's gonna be a chase figure because she'll
It's a
have she'll have a regular one, and then she'll have like a black and white one with blood on her.
There you go.
That's
I
funny.
like it. Paul can draw it.
Speaking of like other things as Power Rangers, my favorite recent thing has been the Street Fighter Power Rangers, where they took Chun-Li and Ryu. And,
What?
yeah,
Street
it was like
Fighter.
Red Phoenix and something like that, or something. I can't remember off the top of
It's,
my head, but they were.
It's Hulk. It's
Look at
the
that.
Crimson Hulk Ranger and
That's
the
what
Phoenix Ranger, which is
Oh.
Chun Li's character.
I'm looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
the Phoenix Ranger
And they've
now.
got their own Ranger skin, costumes and everything. And I love them. I love them. They look
Yo,
great.
this Chun Li is pretty dope.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because they actually
Yes.
had the Power Rangers Legacy War. The mobile game was the first thing they did a crossover with Capcom and brought Ryu and Chun Li over and Bison over. And then
Didn't see Bison.
he was only on. He didn't get like a morph or anything. He was just regular old Bison in the
Oh.
video game. And then they went to that Battle for the Grid for the PlayStation
Yeah.
4 and stuff.
yeah.
They went over there
That's
as
where I saw
DLC.
them. Was on the PlayStation.
They were DLC for that,
That's just
and then they dropped the toys for him. And now Ken is getting his own suit, and so is
That's-
Cammy.
Yeah, Cammy's got one.
Oh, yeah, I'm
I
looking
haven't
at
seen
Ken.
Ken's, but I have seen Cammy's.
Ken's kind of jacked. It's like a Red Ranger with the shield, like the Green Ranger shield on it, but he has like no sleeves.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. Huh. I like
Huh.
it. I like it.
I'm-
I want to get all of those. I want to get all those action figures. Is Guile getting one? It looked like Guile was getting one.
Guile has to get one, right?
I think so, but they haven't made it official.
Hmm.
Oh man, I can't wait to see how they proceed with this. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
excited. Very
Oh,
excited.
man.
But I'm hoping they just like sneak it into Street Fighter 6 somewhere. like
Oh, yeah.
please.
Like a
That would be
DLC
great.
or something.
That would be great because they could have like since he passed and everything, they could have JDF's Green Ranger be a DLC character for Street Fighter
yeah.
6. That would be pretty awesome.
That would
Have
be
you
pretty
seen the
sweet.
prices on these figures though?
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, when you go into like the
$36.
Hasbro Pulse,
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
yeah. It's pretty
Fuck.
stupid.
Let's see if Entertainment Earth has them.
It's pretty dumb.
Oh man, that's awesome though. I love that. I love when they they do like interesting things with Power Rangers. Like I love that that evil universe they did. What did Tommy go as in that one? He had like the Lord
Draken.
was it Drakon?
Yeah, Draken. He decided to go back to Rita in this universe, learn all he can, defeat the Rangers, and it was to the point Zordon was like, "Look, we made a new Ranger coin, the White Tiger coin. We gotta give it to Jason so he can defeat Tommy and put an end to all this because Tommy's just out of control." And Tommy in that universe ended up beheading Jason and taking the power coin and fusing it with the dragon coin, and that's why his outfit looks the way it looks because it's
like a mixture of both white and green
Mhm.
Ranger. It's really cool. And I love the like
cool.
Ranger hunters, like the other ones that they had, like the Pink Ranger with the bow and arrow, and
Yep, the Ranger Slayer.
Yeah, that shit's cool as hell to me.
I can get down with
I
that.
love like but I love multiversal, like what if scenario type things. Those are always my favorite little stories to read and interact with. That's what when I was working on my web series Bloodhaven, it was all a what if scenario. That's always been my favorite shit to write too.
I still think that was actually a really good story, and one of the first times and only times that I've ever been like, Paul might be onto something here. There's that and your Fakemon. I'm like, Paul has a little bit of talent in here.
Yeah, a little bit. That's why I'm going to sell them as stickers or something. But you know, I've got a lot of those like what if scenarios. A lot. So I've got a short story collection. Well, some of them have been starting to develop into novels at this point. But it's
because you just keep talking. Keep typing. You can't figure out when to stop.
Yeah, I can't stop, man. I'm like, fuck, I thought of something else, like I got into this frame of mind of what if the apocalypse occurred at different points in history, and how would humanity then from that point, based on the type of apocalypse, evolve and change and adapt. And so I had one where like an apocalyptic dust storm rolled in the 1800s, and they embraced that kind of steampunk sort of underground living. I've got one where like a flood, you know, wiped out the whole world during like the golden age of piracy, and pirates became the lords of the land, and or the little bits of land that were left, which are basically mountaintops and shit. I had I had a bunch of these. I'm trying to go through them all in my head and remember. I got it all written down some fucking where. But I like what if scenarios, and Bloodhaven was like the first one that was like another property. And it was like, what if it didn't happen that way? And started changing everything about it.
That sounds cool. I mean, we were, before we ended the podcast and everything, we were in talks of doing a movie about our characters of the podcast, because you know we all play characters on the Smoke for Time podcast, and we all have access to the range of powers that our characters have chosen. If you go back and you look at the images that we had, you know, my character had the Titanium Ranger's power. Talos Gundam, aka Melvin Davis, he had the Green Ranger, Dragon Ranger powers, and Eric the Red, aka Resident Salty Viking, he had the powers of the Wild Force Red Ranger. And we were gonna do like this post-apocalyptic shit has hit the fans, and you know, it was kind of like Logan meets Days of Future Past with Power Rangers.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, we were gonna chop off Eric's arm. We told him we were gonna do it in real life, and he was like, "Okay, let's do this."
I settle a debate for me.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm down. Let's go.
Settle a debate for me. What do you think actually? What is your predilection to this?
Predilection.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Robert. Was that word not registering for you?
No, I don't think that's the right word, is it?
I don't even know what that means.
Predilection.
Predilection?
A preference or special liking for something, a bias in favor of something. Yes, that's I used it correctly.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I thought it just meant you licked
Mr.
predators.
Wordsmith.
That'd
Yeah,
be
well,
Okay.
sometimes I remember words. You know, being a writer helps.
That'd be awkward. The predators over there just hunting, and here
Predator
he comes.
licking himself. Is that what you thought it was?
No, I thought
Predilection.
it was that you licked predators.
Uh,
But
no,
no, what's
the
this?
mandible
debate?
so
claws.
for the Power Rangers, I had always wondered their increased strength and mobility and agility, things like that. Is it only when they've morphed, or do they always have a hint of that power regardless?
I think they always have a hint of that power regardless.
Because I know
Here's
the new
why.
live action movie that I just hate and would like to disregard would say they always have those powers, but then I'm
Right.
like, wouldn't that just defy morphing if they're always superpowered?
Okay, so this question's answered very easily, and it's actually kind of funny because later series it starts with Dino Thunder. They actually
Uh-huh.
get what the Ranger community calls civilian powers. That they
Okay.
get from touching the morpher or touching the thing that helps them morph or whatever.
Right.
And so they get civilian powers, and then which typically they only use it like once or twice in an episode, and then they'll morph or whatever. SPD,
So it's whenever the writers feel like it.
yeah, pretty much. Power Rangers SPD. They had mutants on there, so they had
Yeah.
powers. It's pretty out
It
there.
varies. But
Pretty much.
as far as just like within the realm of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like it seemed in the old series, like they would fight putties like without morphing, and they would hold their own a little bit, but it's because they all took fucking karate or whatever. But then like when they got overwhelmed, they'd be like, all right, it's morphin time, and then they'd kick the ever loving shit out of them. And I'm like, okay, so they're only super powered when they've morphed. But then, you know, there's so much conflicting information floating around about any of it. So
There were episodes of like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that they like either lost their morpher or whatnot, right? And we're like, oh my god, guys, I don't have it. Like, you've got to help me get it back from Rita or whatever, right? Wasn't that a
Probably.
plot?
probably with how much Power Rangers there was, dude, I haven't watched the full series in a while. Like I have
Right.
to sit down and watch every
I
episode.
think I was
again.
a solid like 10 when I watched it, 10 to 15.
Yeah, I mean, there very well could have been, but like I said, the newest movie seemed to like make it unimportant. It's like they had the coin, so they were powerful no matter what. But then, you know, it just seemed like when they morphed, all it did was put fucking armor on them, and it was like, well, what the fucking point was it? What was the point of that? Why'd you
Right.
morph? If you already were super strong, it could jump over cliffs and shit, you know, it breaking sinks in the bathroom. And
But there are definitely times where without being morphed, they are fighting like putties and whatnot.
yeah, but back
they
then
get
they all took fucking
overwhelmed.
karate class together, so it kind of made sense that they could
Right.
hold their own a little bit. But
I think
they
it's
never
kind of
seemed,
like that when they do morph, that they do get a buff from
Yeah.
strength and all this stuff, but then they get like added armor kind of deal.
I guess. I don't know. It just always bothered me. Well, it bothered me more recently because the newest movie bothered the fuck out of me. Everything about that movie bothered me.
Really? I mean, I
No,
liked it.
yes, really. The fucking the thing was at Krispy Kreme of all like go fuck yourself. And I'm supposed to believe Rita just fucking knows everything as soon as she gets up. She knows how to speak English perfectly fine. She's got this down, this whatever. And the fucking what was the other thing that bothered? Oh, the Pink Ranger, how they had it set up where it's like a bullying story, but it's like she was the bully because she's the one that leaked the fucking pictures, and then at the end she crushes that girl's car too as like quote unquote payback, and you're supposed to root for her, and it's like, wait a minute, you released the fucking pictures to the school, you're the bully, you're the asshole. And then the Red Ranger's whole plot line through the whole movie, everything that happened to him revolved around car wrecks or car accidents in general. There was like 3 connected to him specifically. And I was just like, okay, whatever, man. Like, they spent so much time on the kids, and I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. I want to see, I came to a Power Rangers movie to watch Power Rangers kick the shit out of some monsters. Stop showing me their interpersonal lives. But they felt it super necessary to be like, oh, well, he's on the autism spectrum. Oh, she's a lesbian now.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, they had all this socio-political shit that didn't matter. It like, and then they made Goldar not Goldar.
That's true.
Yeah.
Marcus, I know you just mentioned in the chat that you got a jet.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I gotta attend to an emergency, so thank you guys for having me on y'all's podcast.
Of course,
absolutely.
Check out Magma Cleric Studios Facebook page.
Definitely won't go spam it.
Yeah.
Do DDoS attacks or anything.
Go check that out. Thank you again for having me on here. It's been
Always,
good.
man.
You're welcome. We'll do it again for sure. We look forward to seeing the new movie.
All right, thank you.
Paul, we need to. You want to just go ahead and kind of wrap this up?
Fine. Sure. All right. Did you want to be like, hey, this is this and this on the check the link and the fucking thing and the
oh yeah, sure. All right, everybody, we'll leave some links in the description, and go check out Magma Cleric Studios on their Facebook. There'll be a link to that.
And check out our stuff.
Check out our stuff on this website that you have already gone to listen to this, or on the app that you're listening to.
I'm gonna huff a Sharpie real quick to get ready.
Okay.
Where's our dad joke?
I don't have a dad joke.
No, fuck you. You can't tell me you're gonna have dad jokes every week and then not have dad jokes.
I can. I'll get a dad joke.
I'm gonna look one up.
But be sure to go to shop.akettleoffishpodcast.com and you can download the Township there. It is a digital download. There's no weirdness to it. It's just $10. It goes right to Marcus, so he can keep doing his thing.
You guys want to hit it as Sharpie?
Why are you huffing Sharpies? What? Wow.
I can't get it back in the fucking pencil cup.
All right, Paul. I've got a really, really bad one, but I've got one for you.
Sure.
Are you ready? Why did the oh my god! I don't know if I could do this one. Hold on.
Okay.
Why did the transgender man only eat salad?
Oh god. All right. Yeah. Why?
Because he was a herbivore.
Bye, everybody.
A herbivore. Before he was a herb. Got it.
God. Oh my god.
Thank you for listening. You can email us at akettleoffishpodcast@gmail.com or call us at 615-933-1855. Hope to catch you next week.